Good afternoon.
Fantastic. So, just to go back a little bit, today is actually extremely great in terms of recognizing people within our community. And we're able to do that. When we started this organization, it was actually Rabbi Hecht, Chris Banks, and myself, which are the founding members of this organization. And Chris identified some people that were amazing in the community as well. And that's how David Best and Pastor Ransom came about. And it was important for us to do a couple of things. Trace the funding, because we feel like we're lacking some things within this community and resources that we see elsewhere, but we're not getting it here, and we wanted to understand why, where it was at, and how do we acquire it in order to make sure that our community is getting things in an equitable fashion, if that makes sense. So we're happy to be here today. And we've done a couple of these events to make sure that if no one else tells you that they love you and they appreciate you, we do, and there are people here that actually appreciate District 19 schools and District 19 principals and staff and counselors and parent coordinators. And we do understand that East New York, District 19, typically gets a bad rap. You know, nobody wants to go to these schools, and they think like there's no representation of goodness within our communities, and that's just simply not true. And we understand that because we're looking around us today, and we see some amazing people that make real commitments to their students outside of just being a principal or a teacher or a counselor. So I want to actually just talk about, I insisted that I actually present this, and so did Chris, because we actually have like a personal investment in this particular individual. And we love you all, and everybody has their personal stories. We just happen to be part of this personal story. And so this individual I've known for maybe 30 or 40 years, not telling my age because she's older than me. No, I'm only messing with her because she knows I love her. But I've known her outside of this. She's actually a family friend. But what's unique about her is that my daughter actually went to the school that she is currently the principal of, but she wasn't the principal at that time. And I've witnessed a lot of things, and it's not to put down anybody else, but I witnessed some things that were really disturbing to me. Kids getting hauled out by police officers, being sent to mental institutions, and they weren't really dealing with the child or the person or the family or what actually creates the situation when these kids walk into our schools. Do they have food? Do they have coats, clothes? Are their parents on drugs? Are they unemployed? These are things that we have to deal with when our children are coming into the school. You're not just a teacher or a principal. You're dealing with a lot of social and economical things when it comes to that person. And we get it. And what makes you distinct, you, Janet Huger, is because outside of knowing these things for these kids, you're actually treating them and identifying them as a little human being, as your own child, as if they actually grew up in your home, and siblings to your child and your children. And that's what makes you unique. You turned around that entire school, the expectations that these kids will have, and also the expectations of the parents, because you're dealing with a whole family. You turned around that entire school, giving people dignity when they walk in and welcoming them in your office without turning them away and having parents curse you out or feeling like these kids are unsafe. You created a real safe environment. You created an environment where I feel like my child is going to come in here, he's not only going to get taught, but he's going to appreciate his own life and understand what it looks like to love and love each other, but first by loving themselves. You taught those kids that, but not only did you teach those children that, you taught those parents that as well. And you continue to allow that sentiment to reign throughout that building, and it's infectious throughout the community. That's why you deserve this award today. All right? I love you.
Well, I think Nikki said it all, and I guess it leaves me with the only position to actually present the award. So, and Ms. Sugar, you know, and I just want to just go a little bit back. I was also one of those young kids in 273. So I understand your story, your dedication to the community. I don't think there's enough words that could just explain or show or put a light on what you've done to this community and how you've impacted so many young folks. But we just want to present you with this small token on behalf of the East New York Collaborative and let you know, keep pushing, keep representing East New York, keep hitting the streets, keep doing your thing. And on behalf of the East New York Collaborative, we present this award, Distinguished Education Leadership Award, presented to Janet Huger. And me and Nikki are going to present this.
All right.
I was on Facebook the other night, and Janet was at a Wu-Tang concert. And let me tell you why this is important. Because she continues to connect with her children, and she meets them at their level as well. But she makes them meet her at her level and her standards. And that's important when we're connecting with our kids. And she embraces the arts and makes sure that she understands and she's connecting in that way. So when I saw her on Facebook at a hip-hop concert, that is just genuine to who she is. And this is why she's able to connect in a lot of the ways that she connects with these kids and these families. All right? Love you.